From Berlin today, so we really appreciate it coming. I'll hand over to Marie.
Thank you. Hello. So my name is Marie, and yes, I'm coming from Berlin. I'm for Novoda. Kevin is one of my colleagues. I'm for Novoda in Berlin as creative director, and I'm working as Android designer for a long time. And I try to share a little bit about I want to share my knowledge, and I have to say sorry because I'm from Berlin. I started to learn English last year, and my most English I've learned from Top Gear. So yeah. Don't be, I'm really scared. I'm very, very proud to speak about Android in front of a lot of designers. How much designers are today here? Hands up. Nice. Okay, how much developers? How much Android developers? How much Android designers? Wow. Hello. Okay. I try to make an overview about Android's history and layout. I try to introduce why Android works sometimes a little bit confusing. And I started with API. Somebody here who don't know what is an API? 1, 2, don't be shy, it's okay. 3, 4. Okay, API is mostly a system who provides metadata about data, and they try to handle data and connect it to the right place. So if you have a photo and you have an application who can handle photos, an API, a little brain, is thinking about it, knows which app can handle photos, and say, like a little green droid, say, you're a photo, you can go to this application. And everybody can be an application who handles photos. Right? Correct? So you can read a lot of articles in the internet about it. And Android is a system designed from Google for many, many devices. It's just open source. And open source means everybody can use this system to make an Android phone, sell it on the store, and do a big batch Android system on it. So that's Android. No, not everybody, but the brand is key, I guess. But yeah, so we need functionalities to provide for all these devices: layout handling, system UI, colors, whatever. All these stuff for every size and whatever manufacturer can think what Android can do. And that's the history why Android uses an API to handle layouts. For an example, if you have so many different devices, they splitting the layouts in little parts, and these little parts are handled by a little brain who asks Android, which device are you, and how big are you, and then it provides how much the device can handle. So maybe a tablet can handle 2. A phone can handle 1 of them. That's a fragment system. And as designers, we can design a lot of fragments, and at the end, we can decide which fragments have which priority, which weight. We can decide how much percent they use. Actually, Android can't handle percent. They use another measurement. But we as designer have to handle this one in percent. Sadly, it's not really visible on the black design. the list here, I have a watch on the right side, and the watch is orientated to the top and the bottom because they have to fit and I have to see all the stuff. And on the left side, I have a list. I can scroll it. It's have to fit on the right and the left side. So orientation and stretching is the most important thing on Android because we have so much devices, so much different resolutions, and yeah, maybe square phones, square tablets, whatever. That can be very, very scary. Inside and layout, we haven't. How much designers here can write CSS? Oh, cool. Nice one. Okay. Inside a layout for Android, we haven't CSS. We have another language. We have XML, who's trained to work in grids. We have a linear grid, which works horizontal and vertical. And these grids are built like CSS in a box system, build, deeper, deeper, deeper. And we as designers can use, if you use more than four grids in a depth, it goes deeper than 4, your layout works slowly because your device needs performance to render all these stuff. And that is one of the quality things we have to keep as designers. We have to keep the depth of these layers. So we can attach more, but put it in and put it inside one of the grids if you want to go deeper. Yeah, CSS works like, in CSS we can do floating. And that's very, very sexy because we have maybe 3 elements and we will do the perfect width and height on every device. And we have good rules to handle all these stuff. On Android, it doesn't work. We need for every floating element an extra developer who, not an extra developer, but we need extra time to say exactly which element have to flip. It isn't automatically. Okay, stretching, perfect. We have depth on devices, different depths, every device. So as print designer, we know we can print with 300 dpi, dots per inch, is American, yes, Dutch print. And we have maybe 300 dpi, we can print with 1,000 dpi, we can print with every dpi we want, but a paper is a paper. It can be bigger or smaller, it's just the paper. You can buy a bigger size or whatever, but an inch is an inch. On tablets we have the same. We have different depths, different densities, and different sizes. So the right one here is maybe the same depth than the left one. And what happens? The layout will be stretched. And that's one of the reasons why we say pixel perfect doesn't exist. You can't use pixels, not longer. It calls now stretch perfect. It's my personal term. So next step. Kevin talked about Holo, and Taylor is a good designer from Malaysia, I guess. Malaysia, I remember. And Taylor does a very, very useful thing. He redesigned an existing application, everybody knows it maybe, LinkedIn, to a Holo look and feel. And I watched on the Holo look and feel and I think, yeah, cool, stretchable, flat design. Any Android rule is perfect, nice, but it looks very, very Holo. And I talked with Taylor about it, and I say, please, let's go deeper in LinkedIn brand and make a bigger match about the LinkedIn header, the new LinkedIn header, and all these tiny little beautiful icons from the new LinkedIn brand. And he reworked it again, and it looks so beautiful. And what I've learned is, in this conversation, following Android is not the best, not the holy grail. We have to follow the brand and the holo in both ways, and it is possible. But we have to keep the stretchness. Stretchness is okay?
Yeah, okay.
Maybe. So my vocabulary is maybe totally shitty. I'm a little bit. What you can do with this layout, you can stretch it. And that's really, really good because you can watch it on every device without breaking. So Google provides in different ways measurements in DP. DP we're using on Android DP because we haven't one device we can say, okay, that pixel, that's pixel, or that's inch. It isn't possible. We have too much devices. And every designer sits in front of, how much DPs or how much pixels in my Photoshop. It's actually, we have no way to say perfectly work on this size in your Photoshop. You have to find a way for yourself. The best way is take a phone, take a picture, put it in your Photoshop, and redraw it. That's the best way to be safe. As tip, everybody who's interested in mobile design, Google does not every week, but mostly every week, a Android Design in Action show on Google+. You can pick up the link later. So what you can see here is a design who works perfectly on a phone and on a tablet too, just stretching. Why we don't stretching or using patterns is born in the past of Android. Past? I don't know. And we have a lot of cheap Android devices in Asia, in Africa, in wherever, or school for kids, whatever. Devices who cost maybe $20 in production or less. And these devices are not really strong. They have maybe a little bit memory, and Android says you can use this memory to display your application. And if we use images or background images, an Android system needs, like every system, they need power and memory to render all these images, to display them anytime. If you scroll them or change them, they have to render. And the small little tiny devices can't do it. They are too small. So it's your decision to kick them out or keep it. If you want to use photos in the background, you can do it, but it doesn't work on smaller phones. And yeah, so Android is designed for everybody, and Android is designed, the holo system, the holo look and feel is designed to be on any Android device in the whole world. Yeah, so what you can see here, and what I think, holo is a look and feel we can use it, but we can extend it. We can see the look and feel, and we can design new elements. We can use it for other devices like home automatization, complicated word. And we do a lot of redesigns on the web for old applications. You can see the iOS toggle bar at the top, and the background image, and many iOS things. And on the right side, the new one. Very flat design, and just holo, without being holo. It isn't holo, it's new. Yeah, that's on Google+. That's what I say. And the Android design community grows a lot in the past. We are from the whole world, just mostly developers who are very talented to be designers. But some designers come into the community, are mostly scared about the developer stuff. But I have to say today, please come to us, talk with us, say what you need, what you want, and we can grow. And every week you can show this beautiful show from Google at Google+.
I should just say that that isn't connected to this event exactly. We just couldn't think of a better name, so we stole their design name from there. It's nothing to do with this.
I have to say thank you for listening. And if you want to join our professional Android design community, you have a QR code at the bottom. Thank you so much. Done it. I think now is a break.
Is there any questions, Marie, before we take a break?
Yeah, so